Good morning, Dan and Amy. The Cook County State's Attorney's race. Kim Foxx, she of Jussie Smollett infamy, versus retired Circuit Court Judge Pat O'Brien. A Republican has not been Cook County State's Attorney since Jack O'Malley in the early 90s. And a Republican hasn't held Cook County-wide office since then either, and doesn't seem to be likely in the foreseeable future. But hold on, Kim Foxx may be so incompetent, so embarrassing, that enough people in Cook County, which runs about 4-1 Dem to Republican, could actually throw her out of office.
Well, don't tell her that. She was on ABC7. She's proud of her record so far.
I think I have a proud record to stand on. For the first 3 years of this administration, violent crime went down year over year, 3 years in a row.
Not so fast, says Pat O'Brien.
She wants to take credit for the crime going down between 2017 and 2019. She also has to take the blame for crime going up to skyrocketing levels in 2020.
Pat O'Brien also sending out this release yesterday, asking about Kim Foxx dropping murder charges, against 3 men who are now each represented by Kim Foxx donors. Like your friend there, Kathleen Zellner, $7,900 to Fox, and other defense attorneys / trial lawyers. Daryl Fulton, Nevis Coleman, and Arthur Brown, each convicted of murder, filed motions to vacate their convictions. Kim Foxx initially objected, but then completely reversed course. She not only agreed to drop all charges, but didn't even object to certificates of innocence for each man. These Fox donors are now suing the city, Chicago police, and former assistant state's attorneys for a payday. And I don't know the particulars of these cases, but that's sort of secondary in a political context to the question as to why Kim Foxx reversed course in objecting to the overturning of their murder convictions. Remember, this is a woman who's used her handling of the Jussie Smollett case as the basis to explain how she's focusing all the office's resources on violent criminals. Maybe those sorts of explanations are not persuasive to 50% plus one of the Cook County electorate. I'd be stunned if that were the case, but a new poll from Matt Podgorski, who is a pollster with Ogden and Fry, suggests it actually could possibly be the case, even in a year where you have Trump at the top of the ballot, which will be a drag down ballot. I mean, just in terms of how badly he'll lose Illinois, but particularly Cook County. And still we find that Pat O'Brien is within striking distance of Kim Foxx. For more on this, pleased to be joined by the aforesaid Matt Podgorski, again, pollster, Ogden and Fry. Matt, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. How are you guys today?
Good. So you did this survey this past Sunday, and 736 respondents, plus or minus 3.7%, and margin of error, and the head-to-head is what?
So we started out with the first question, top of the ballot, how's Trump doing against Biden? And no surprise, Joe Biden 65%, Donald Trump 25%. So probably a little bit better for Trump than we expected in the county.
So he's down 40 points. Trump is down 40 points in Cook County. Okay.
Down 40 points in Cook County. Then we asked head-to-head Pat O'Brien versus Kim Foxx. And really surprising, Pat O'Brien surged. He's only down 6 points now with 12% undecided.
Pat O'Brien down 47.1 to 40.6, so rounding, 47-41, down 6 points. Trump down 40, Pat O'Brien down 6, so I don't know, perhaps the combination of the ballot name plus the standing Kim Foxx has in large swaths of the Cook County electorate. That's really remarkable that he's running 34 points ahead of President Trump in Cook County.
Yeah, it's unheard of, is what it is. It's to the point where, as you know, Dan and Amy, that Republicans don't usually stand a chance countywide in Cook County, simply because the party affiliation is listed on the ballot. All that's out the window this year. I mean, we pulled this race back in August 3rd, and Pat O'Brien was down by 44 points.
From August 3rd to October 18th, he was gone from 44 to down 6.
That's correct.
Yeah. Did you do any polling about that third party candidate, the Libertarian Brian Dennehy?
We have a spot on the ballot for other or undecided, because to be quite frank, I didn't know which third parties were sneaking onto the ballot this year, because they kind of lowered the bar to get on the ballot for third parties. So we did leave a space for folks to put another party or another candidate on there, or undecided, and that came in at 12%. But the interesting thing to point out here is that Fox is still under 50, which means that O'Brien does have a chance. He can still eat into some of that Fox vote, but he can get 80% of the undecided vote. He can pull it off. And I'll be as first to admit, I'm surprised as anybody here, Dan. I think we've had conversations about this 2 months ago, and it's no chance. I would have bet I would have given 100 to 1 odds. A Republican can't win Cook County under any circumstances. But
importantly here too, just some of the prequel. These are likely November 3rd voters, not just registered voters.
Yeah, that's one of the things we do differently. Is we take a lot of pride in this firm and in identifying likely voters. A lot of the polls you see on TV are intellectually lazy, because they just take registered voters, because it actually takes some craft and some skill and some effort to kind of mine who the likely voters are. And just because you're registered doesn't mean you're going to vote. But if I may, the one really interesting thing, which you probably don't have in the report in front of you guys, is Kim Foxx's favorability right now is only at 41%, with 47% unfavorable. And then 12% unsure or never heard of her. So minus 6% favorability. That's the type of numbers that gives Pat O'Brien the hope that he could maybe pull this off in the last 10 days.
That number's got to get worse. That number's got to be below. Her favorability's got to be below 40. Her reelect number actually has to be below 40 for Pat O'Brien to win, I believe. And I'm right. I will tell you. Okay. You'll find out that I'm right.
Wow. Okay.
But
heard it here first.
But I mean, he's right. He's right there, and that is a stunning enough development. And one other thing I just wanted to ask you about with respect to this survey, because you have great diversity here, and Kim Foxx, I'm sure, is counting on the black vote to put her over the top. And so, how do city versus suburban Cook County, Black, white, Latino, how does that break for the two candidates?
Yeah, good question. So we asked the respondents to self-identify their race, and surprisingly, in both Republican Donald Trump and Republican Pat O'Brien have really moved the needle. So Donald Trump actually is getting 15% of the black vote. That's double what he was getting in August 3rd. Yes. And if you have more time, I'll give you some more national and kind of larger demographic trends that's happening. But Pat O'Brien's at 24% of the black vote.
Do you think sorry for interrupting. Do you think
wait, let him finish these numbers. Go ahead.
Sorry, no problem. So 24% of the black vote for Pat O'Brien. Just think about that for a minute. It's not two white guys running against each other, Republican and Democrat. We're talking about a white male versus a black female who's cornered her whole market in justice in the criminal justice system, and defending black folks from an unfair criminal justice system. That should be her niche. She should be getting 95% of the black vote, 97% of the black vote. Pat O'Brien's at 23.5. Kim Foxx is at 72 with 5% undecided. Those are stunning numbers.
They are.
And then amongst white votes, it's plus 14 for Pat O'Brien.
Wow. What about Latinos? Did you go into that?
There's not enough of them responding to get a large enough sample size for me to even show what the crosstabs look like on that. They only are about 10% of the registered voters and 10% of the likely voters in the county. So you just can't really, the numbers don't mean anything.
And it has, I assume that Pat O'Brien has made up the ground he's made up over the last 2 months because of his standing in suburban Cook County versus Chicago.
Yeah, so when you cut it that way, Pat O'Brien is winning the suburbs, which, are diverse in themselves, by nearly 10 points.
Yeah. And
then obviously he's losing Chicago by a solid 23 points. A lot of people don't know this, but the suburban city split is about 50-50 in Cook County voting. It's almost that.
Right. And
What about the south suburbs?
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's just included in the suburban number. I don't think it's broken. Did you break it out by south versus west central versus northwest?
No, and
Yeah,
you start. You can, but you start getting into small samples.
Yeah, I get it.
Stops becoming meaningful. Yeah.
Well, so then this becomes a real turnout game too, suburban versus Chicago. If Pat O'Brien can, along with others, really jump the turnout in suburban Cook County, in particular areas of suburban Cook County, like the northwest townships, then maybe he can make up the ground he's down in the city.
No doubt about it. And here's where he has more wind at his back. Anybody who pays attention to local races. Now, obviously, most people turn out for the top of the ticket, but it's just marginal gains, right? When those folks who come out for personal folks that they know that are running for state representatives, state senate, things like that. There are no state rep or state senate races in Chicago proper, in most of the urban city. They just don't exist. So you're not going to get that extra sort of boost of turnout that you might get in the suburbs this year, where you have Tom Morrison running. Brad Stevens running in House 20, Tom Morrison running. You got Anthony Beckman in Senate 10 on the northwest side. You got a couple races on the far southwest side. So those kind of naturally drive turnout out in those very fringe edges of the city and then the suburbs of Cook County. So who knows? Maybe he can, catch the inside straight here and pull it off.
That would be something. But as you say, he's within striking distance, only down 6. Pat O'Brien only down 6 to Kim Foxx here as we stand less than 2 weeks out from Election Day. Good stuff. Matt Podgorski, Pollster, Ogden, and Fry. Matt, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
You too, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
After 25 years of building websites for all kinds of companies in many different industries, AmericanEagle.com realized a well-designed website is also your best employee, bringing efficiency, revenue, production, showing up every day, giving above and beyond to increase your bottom line. That's what a website designed, developed, and hosted by AmericanEagle.com has brought to so many clients. An AmericanEagle.com website is a 24/7 branding exercise, building rapport and thus brand equity while you sleep. Companies like WeatherTech have relied on AmericanEagle.com's website design and development and hosting capabilities for years. When some of the world's top brands need a reliable company to prepare their sites for high-traffic events, who do they call? AmericanEagle.com. Their clients have come to rely on them for a full line of website services, from consulting and strategy to digital marketing, hosting, and maintenance. Give the team at AmericanEagle.com a call today. 1-877-WEB-NOW. The number 1 is the number. AmericanEagle.com is the website. 1-877-WEB-NOW-1 is the number.
All right. Take charge. Do something to help boost your immune system. That's why I take Balance of Nature, because I'm not eating enough fruits and veggies on my own. Who is really? 70% of the produce you buy goes in the garbage, folks, goes in the landfill. So here's what you do. Order Balance of Nature, because with just 6 capsules a day, you're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits